Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. We've got an Elan Ripstick 102 Black Edition for you today. This is a carryover model from last year when all of the Ripstick skis were revamped. So last year was the first year of this new 102 Black Edition, both in construction, shape, and profile. For 2026, they are rolling it out for year two. And it is one of the more engaging and fun kind of modern free ride style of skis. Elan does a great job at incorporating, a lot of engineering and sophistication into their builds and their shapes. Most notably, they are asymmetric in nature, so a right and left specific ski. And they just use a lot of different carbon applications. So this is a heavily powered ski by carbon and just remains lightweight and energetic as a result. We do start with a tube light wood core, so poplar and paulownia here. They use quad rod technology in their Black Edition series of skis. So in addition to the two carbon tubes that go along the sides, they also have one extra in the forebody and another through the middle of the tail. So 4 different applications of carbon embedded in the core of the ski. Those tubes or rods are 360-degree applications of carbon, and that makes just a lot more feedback from that material. And then we get even more carbon. We get 2 unidirectional strips that run below the core. Those provide more edge grip and more feedback. And then on top we get a C-ply, so 1 strip of carbon that goes on the downhill edge of the ski. So this is where the asymmetry comes into play in terms of construction. So putting more carbon along the edge that's more constantly on the snow. So this is the right ski, so that would be this side, so that downhill edge. Really interesting, they put a ton of carbon in here. This is the 175. We're at 1,716 grams. So for this amount of technology and energy, below 1,800 grams in a 175, that is a feat. They do a wonderful job at making it really just a technologically oriented ski that appeals to a broad range of skiers. They also use some flax in the forebody here, and that allows them to keep the overall profile thin. And that leads to a relatively flexible shovel. So that combined with a more spoony tip shape, a more spatula-oriented shovel here, really makes it so this ski does not sink in any snow. It is very much rise above and stay on top. And for here in Vermont, that makes a lot of sense because in our tighter trees, that's kind of where you have to go to find softer snow. It is extremely mobile and agile in tighter spots, probably one of the better tree skis we've been on, and then works great in bumps and choppy snow as well. I think where you're going to miss out amongst a pretty crowded field of powerful 102s is on a firmer groomer when you're kind of lining it up against something with multiple sheets of metal. That's where this ski is going to come up a bit short in terms of dampness and power, but where it excels is in the energy and in the mobility and in that sophistication. The profile really makes it fun and easy to ski and stay parallel. They use their Amphibio rocker profile, a kind of a flatter overall shape. There is positive camber underfoot here, but not as much splay in the tips and tails as we see in some of the narrower Ripsticks, just making a smoother overall feel. But they put more rocker on the outer portions of the ski and more camber on the inner. So that allows you to really feather along that outside ski and stay parallel a lot easier. It's a very intuitive feel from a ski here. 17.8 meters in this 175. It's really easy to get shorter and easier to go longer from that. That's kind of a good mid-range in terms of a listed radius, but the flexibility of the shovel allow you to tighten it up if you want, or you can run a lower edge angle and still feel smooth because of that carbon. The multiple carbon applications do deliver a good amount of strength to the ski. We got some feedback here. One of our testers, Brad Moskowitz, says, "I really enjoyed this ski. It felt light and snappy while also able to rip turns at speed, relatively quick edge to edge for a 102, and easy to control in the air. This ski also stomped the landings with ease. Yeah, I think that having kind of a little bit more power and pep in the tail does make landings a little bit easier, just more supportive back there, while the mobility certainly comes from the shovel in terms of flex and the shape. So make sure you check out this Elan Ripstick 102 Black Edition here at SkiEssentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.